Your title cards are boring as fuck. I'm sorry bro, someone had to tell you, but the good news is, I'm here to help you with that problem today. So in today's video, me and you are going to be making this grungy animated title card. So no more talk, let's get straight into the tutorial. So the very first thing I'm going to do is right click and pre-compose this scene before we do anything else. And I'll show you why in a second. The next thing I'm going to do is double click inside of it and then also go onto the layer itself and then add in the effect black and white. But now you're also going to add in a lumetri color because we're going to play around with the settings a bit slightly as well. You're going to go down into basic correction. You're going to up the highlights, slightly up the contrast, lower the shadows, and up the whites as well. And you can even up the exposure slightly if you'd like as well. Ignore the bad quality. I'm using a quarter render just so it's easy for you guys to follow along with me. But if I put it on full, you can see the quality is pretty decent and I'm quite happy with how that rough coloring is. So I can just close that pre-comp down and go back to our main scene, and this is what we're starting with. Now I'm going to add a few effects on top of this pre-comp right here. I'm going to add in CC Vignette, which is right here, and just play around with the settings until it's kind of dark, right? Alright, cool. Next thing you're going to do is drag out a text box and type in the name of what you want your main word to be. In my case, I'm just going to type in Symbio, okay? I'm not going to be using that font for now. I'm actually going to be using one of my favorite fonts, Demographic C. But of course, you can use whatever you'd like. Then from here, I'm just going to shorten these boxes just so it's kind of contained roughly in between. Just like this. Perfect. And then from there, I'm going to open up the Align tab, which you can find over in Windows, Align, just like this. And then just simply press the center on both the Y and X axis so it's directly in the middle. This just helps us avoid any future mistakes down the line, just makes everything a bit easier. Then I'm going to go onto my text and make it just a bright red, but then slightly drag it down so it's a very, very dark red. Here is my color code. If you want to copy it, it says A20000. So yeah, I'll leave it roughly at that, but again, we may change things later down the line, but I'm quite happy with that for now. So now we're going to set the foundations for everything else. I'm talking the artist name and then also like the icons that you normally see on title cards. We're going to add that all in now. One thing I will say, yeah, is I'd advise using two different fonts, one script and then one heavy. By script, I mean something that's like looks a little bit handwritten or looks a little bit more abstract compared to like a very blocky one like the main red one we're looking at here. And it just makes it a little bit different. I mean, in my opinion, it looks quite cool. So I'm going to be using this font right here. It's actually from Need for Speed Most Wanted. So I think it looks pretty cool. So then just mess about with the sizing and where you want it to be located. I'm going to keep it roughly about here for now, but we may move it later on. So now I've just dragged in a PNG of my logo itself, and I'm just going to size it down. It's already aligned in the center, so I'm just going to actually put this back on full resolution so we can see what we're doing. Put it at maybe a 3% scale and just drag it up directly into the middle. It gives it quite a nice touch when you got the logos on the title card like 4K, Sony. You even see some that have like the Ari logo on it. I think it looks quite cool. So yeah, I'm just slapping my logo here for the time being. I also downloaded this PNG of Sony. So the first thing I'm going to do is, because it's black, I'm going to type in tint and then just map the black to white just to make sure it's all the same color. Bring it up to the middle, scale it down and make it roughly similar to the size of my logo, just like this. Then I'm going to drag it over and just have it kind of floating above the top of the E here. Roughly about there is cool for me. So now I'm also adding in a 4K icon right here, same way from vecteezy.com. This is how you spell Vecteezy if you want to go look up that website, vecteezy.com. It comes like this, so there's still a background we have to remove, so I'm going to show you how to do that now. The very first thing you do while hovering over that layer is add in a Luma key, set the key out darker to key out brighter, and just adjust it till all the rough edges go. Then on top of that, you can add a tint and then just map the black to white, same way we did for Sony. And guys, exact same process, is already aligned in the middle. So I'm just going to bring it in, scale it down so it's roughly about a similar size to my logo. I think a 7% is quite cool. Then I'm just going to drag it on and kind of roughly align it in the middle of this, what's this? This S here, just roughly in the middle of that. Okay, so we've got our main layout sorted, as you can see, but we've got no animations, we've got no effects whatsoever. It's looking pretty boring right now. I know. So no more talk. Let's go straight into now how to add some effects over the top of it to give it that really grungy look, and then we'll move on to camera animations afterwards. The very first thing we're going to be doing is I'm going to collapse all of these and press Ctrl-Alt-Y to open a new adjustment layer. On that, I'm going to add posterized time, okay? Because we're going for a grungy looking title card animation, I'm going to set the frame rate to roughly 15 frames per second to give it that old school look. And then on this same layer, we're going to be adding in a noise, just a normal one. Then I'm going to untick use color noise and set it to roughly how much, let's say. I'm going to set it to roughly 28%. Just like this, and you can already see a little bit of a difference. And then I'm also going to add in a radial blur. This is one of my favorite effects to use. Of course, we're not going to be going that extreme. You're going to set the type from spin to zoom, and then put the amount to, let's say, I don't know, yeah, let's go with 4. In my opinion, that already looks quite a lot better, but there's still much more we got to do, so hold your horses. Yeah, so the next thing you're going to do is actually go onto your original text, which is your main part of the title card, and add in deep glow. If you do not have deep glow, you can always use the stock After Effects glow. It's completely up to you, but as long as it's glowing, it looks quite cool. Then just play around with the settings till you're happy. Personally, I'm going to go with something a lot more lighter than usual. This is my final look. If you do want to copy me, I put a radius of 120 and an exposure of 0.41, keeping it really light and a lot more contained within the rough area, right? I don't want it to be going all the way out here. I feel it looks a bit weird. So the first thing we're going to do on the secondary text is highlight it and add in a drop shadow, just like this. Then set the direction to the opposite of wherever it's facing. In my case, it's lying on the text here, so I'm going to put the direction at roughly 23%. Then just mess around with these settings until you're happy. Again, it doesn't have to be completely set figures. It's whatever it looks good, really. And these are my final settings if you want to copy me. And then I'm actually just going to copy over that same deep glow onto the secondary text. I think that's okay. I actually might lower the exposure a little bit as well, then lower the radius slightly to 91 and 0.24. I'm happy with that. And you can already see the difference of how this is looking with those few effects we've added, but we've still got a lot to go. All right, hold on. Still a lot to go. Now you're going to add deep glow onto all 3 of your icons at the top. So I'm going to add it to the Sony logo, just like this. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. So yeah, basically, all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 5 of your layers have glow, and then this one here has drop shadow. That's pretty much it. Except that's not just it. It's just a force of habit me saying that every now and then when I record, but we've actually still got a good amount of effects to do before this really achieves that look. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is highlight the last logo we had and press Ctrl-Alt-Y, just so this adjustment layer is beneath the posterized time one. It's important you do this, by the way. Then you're going to add in a wiggle like this and position. Now, you can play around with this however you may feel you want to do. Do you know what I mean? But then make sure you press motion blur in all your clips as well. I forgot to tell you guys that earlier. But yeah, onto the wiggle position. There's so many different ways you can go about it. I'm going for like a little bit of a slightly shaky effect, but nothing too crazy. So I'm going with a wiggle speed of 4 per second and then a wiggle amount of 14. Okay, that's what I'm happy with. And now you should have something looking similar to this right here. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is add in a bit of a stylized touch. I want to make it look a little bit different, so I'm going to add a splitter right through the middle of our main red text. So the way I'm actually going to do this is highlight our main red layer, which is symbiote for me, and then highlight the rectangle tool up here and simply draw a mask in between like this. Just a very, very thin one. Just trust the process with me on this, guys. Then go down and you'll be able to see this layer has opened. Just press invert on the mask and boom, now you've got a splitter down the middle. Nothing crazy innovative, I know, but just drag it around till it's roughly in between that text and then until you're happy, really. Nothing mad. It's coming along well, guys. But also one thing I'm going to do, I've noticed with the back clip, it is quite a little bit bright compared to the back of our symbiote layer. So I'm going to go onto our main text and also add in a drop shadow just to make it a little bit easier to see. But this one, I'm not going to be adding in any softness. I'm going to make it quite harsh. Okay, and by not many, I'm just going to make it slight, so like a 15, and then also up the opacity because I want this one to be a very, very harsh shadow. Looks quite cool in my opinion. That's a lot better. We're getting there, guys. We're one step closer already. On to the next part. So now I'm actually going to show you guys a camera animation, okay? The next thing you're going to do is highlight all of your layers except the adjustment layers and make them 3D by ticking this box right here. You should see this icon come up as well. The next thing I'm going to do is right click and create new camera, and then you can set it to whatever you feel is best, okay? You go with whatever camera settings you feel like. You can even go with default. It's up to you. I'm just going to press OK, and then we're ready to go on to the next part of camera animations. So honestly, you can go with any camera settings you want. I'm just going to press OK, and then we'll move on. The next thing I'm going to do before we go any further, though, is go on to a new, and then add in a null object, right? Because now we're going to be parenting the null to the camera. So the very next step you're going to do is go onto your camera layer and you'll see this little thing right here. This is a pick whip where you can basically parent it to any other layer. So you're going to go onto that null you just made and then just simply do that and you'll see this pop up right here. Okay, so I see a lot of people overcomplicating the way to explain this, but I'm gonna put it as simple as I can for you. If you parent your camera to 1.0, that means you can have 2 separate camera animations going on at the same time, which if you use it right can make your normal animations look a lot smoother. For example, if you parented it to 2 nulls, then you can have 3 camera animations going on at the same time, and vice versa. So for example, if we go onto our camera layer, go into the drop down menu, go into transform and keyframe point of interest and position, drag that along to the right, then go onto our dolly tool up here where we can use to zoom in, hold your left click and drag roughly into the middle like this, and then just keep going until it's roughly inside. No diddy. Something like that's okay for me, man. I'm not trying to go too crazy. Actually, I'll go a bit further. Yeah, so something like that's fine. Then I'm going to highlight both of these and press F9. Then we're going to go into the graph editor and start doing a little bit of a curve. I've just made it bigger so you guys can see. I'm going to highlight the right side and drag it in so we have a sharp curve on the left side like this. Then I'm going to highlight both of these and drag it 2 frames into the left so the peak is at the very beginning of our comp. So now this is what we're left with. If you've done it right and this camera animation is below your posterized time, you should have a really nice looking animation with a nice camera rumble, okay? But again, there's one more thing I haven't told you what we're doing yet, okay? And now you should have something roughly looking like this. A lot of people would say to leave it there, but no, not on this channel. We ain't doing no gatekeeping over here. I'm really going to drop the source for you guys. So the next thing we're going to do is go onto our null layer and press S to open scale and drag the 100% all the way to the end of our composition. Then you're going to set your scale at the very beginning to, let's say, I don't know, 75. Just like this. So yeah, hope that makes sense, but now on to the next part. And there's one more part to the camera animation I'm going to do now. We're going to be doing like a nice little quick pull in and then pull out again because we're going to be animating our secondary text on that pull in. It'll all make sense later on, but just follow what I'm doing now. So highlight these keyframes a few bits afterwards and press Ctrl C and Ctrl V to copy it. Go a little bit more forward, use your dolly tool and then just do a slight zoom in like this. Then again, copy and paste those two to be the same and then copy and paste that to be the same here. So then what that does is makes us a nice little pull in animation and then a pull out animation, just like this. And on that stage where it does the pull in is where we're going to be doing our secondary animation. Okay, so for the last part of the animated title card, we've done the camera animations, we've done our rough overlays and effects. Now it's time for the text animations, okay? Yo, just a quick one. If you like these sort of effects like the one we're covering today, hear me out. I guarantee you're gonna like this. Basically, I just dropped a brand new bundle with over 50 different animations and transitions. You can drag and drop it into any software. Right now, you can grab the entire bundle for the price of literally one of the packs inside. I don't know how long it's going to stay that low for, guys, so head over to onthecam.com or the top link in the description and level up your edits today before the price goes up. And a big thank you to everyone who's already bought the pack. Make sure to send me some examples on Instagram of your work and I'll go check it out. Yo, hay fever is kicking my ass, but back to the tutorial anyways. Okay, so one thing I do understand, guys, I know a lot of you don't have like Sapphire or any of these bigger plugins, so I'm going to be doing all of the text animations within native After Effects with no plugins. So the very first thing you're going to do is go onto your symbiote and then press T to open the opacity and then press Alt to open your stopwatch. We're making a flicker, by the way, so type in wiggle until you see this pop up, press enter, and then inside this you're going to type the exact same as me if you want the same as me, 30,70. okay, this is going to create a really nice flicker animation without having to use Sapphire flicker, for example. Like I said, ignore the bad quality, it's just for playback. You guys already know what it looks like. But now you can see we have the main part of the title card kind of like pulsing in and out in a really erratic manner. I think it looks quite cool. So yeah, I'm going to keep the flicker as is, and then I'm going to go to the very beginning and put it down to 0. If you do see it slightly here, it's not anything you should be worried about. That's just the expression doing its magic. And then you should have something looking like this now. Pretty cool if you ask me, guys. But now onto the secondary text animation before my camera dies, man. It's on like 10%. Shit. So you're going to go onto your secondary text. In my case, it is artist name. Then go down into the drop down menu. Then press this little button here which says animate. Then you can click on whichever one you like, but in my case, I'm going to be going with the standard one of opacity, okay? Then I'm going to see this little part here which says range selector and then go down into that. And now you can see the opacity is working like normal until, right, we put the end to like, let's say 28%. And now you can see it's finally doing a left to right animation. See, just like this, boom. So put your opacity down to 0 and then start the end off at 100% like this, and you shouldn't see anything. Then keyframe end, go a little bit more forward and then put it down to 0 until all your values say 0, And then you should have a nice right to left text reveal with opacity. Looks quite cool. So I'm going to highlight both of these one more time, go into the graph editor, and I'm going to expand this so you guys can see as well. Should look something like this. Highlight the right side and drag it all the way into the left. So we have a sharp curve at the very beginning. Then I'm going to roughly move it around and just try and match it up with our pulsing in and out animations we made earlier. And as you can see, when I put it on quarter resolution, don't watch that. It looks a lot better on full. When I play it, this is what we've got now. It's looking pretty sick. So I don't really like how the logos at the very top are already there with no animations, right? So we're going to do a slow reveal for each one by one. So guys, it's pretty simple. If you're new to After Effects, don't worry, I'll show you how to do it. Just going to make a slow opacity reveal. So roughly, I'm going to time it here with the top one on the left. Press T to open up opacity and keyframe it here. Drag this 100% one to the right, and then just put this down to 0, just like that. And then you should have something looking like this. There we go. Then I'm going to highlight both of these, and then move a little bit forward and copy and paste it onto our second layer. Oh shit, not that one. Copy and paste it onto our middle one, yeah? Then again, move a little bit forward and copy and paste it onto our last one. No, I'm not downloading your update. Leave me alone. And now after that, this is what we've got now. A nice reveal for each logo. Everything is starting to come together nicely, guys. I'm really happy with this so far. We've got the animated title card down, but we ain't got the grungy look down, okay? So let's move on to that now. Instead of building a grungy look from scratch, I prefer to do it by my own preset. So what I do is I open up a Ctrl-Alt-Y, new adjustment layer above anything else. Let me put it down to quarter before it wrecks my PC. And then instead of wasting like half an hour building out a VHS look from scratch, I go into the Trap Essentials pack, which you can find over at onthecam.com. It's got over 30 different effects and transitions, going from CRT looks to VHS looks to shakes, all of that good stuff, right? So in my case, there's a lot for us to choose from. In my opinion, I want the Lucki VHS. So I'm just going to drag and drop this onto our scene. And now I've got that grungy look I've been talking about this entire time, just in one click. Alright, cool. So guys, with the help of the Lucki VHS from the Trap Essentials, this is what our final result looks like. I'm super happy with that.